Hey there, Facebook land. This is Amy Lequier with Champion Dentist for another practice fuel session here. We take about 15 minutes on Wednesdays and we like to give you a little bit of knowledge, a little learning, some takeaways while you're eating lunch. Grab some food, grab a snack in between patients, or if you have that nice scheduled time for lunch, let's learn, eat, and grow together. And so, if you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up? I just want to make sure that you can all hear me, that we are having great audio. I know it's a hot Wednesday here in Arizona, and we get people coming from all over listening. And what I'd like to talk about today, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. What I want to talk about today is how we market in a way that builds relationships. So we have so much emphasis on social media with, hello, Amy. Hi, Kimmy. We have so much emphasis on social media and Instagram and Facebook and our website, our SEO, all of the things that do help benefit. What we want to try to do is bring it back to basics and about building those relationships. So, what I've noticed and what I've read, and you probably all have seen this as well, the statistics on people being lonely and how we live in an era of so much knowledge, so much technology, that the interactions with each other are diminishing because we're distracted by all this technology, which is great. We're on technology right now, it's amazing. However, when you're trying to run a dental practice or any kind of industry for that matter, building those relationships with our patients so they keep coming back and they keep coming back to us and they refer their friends and family, that's what we're going to talk about today is how do we build those connections with our community partners. How do we help to bring it back to basics where we kind of have a little bit of the boots on the ground, where we go out, we network with people, we communicate, and we start to build those business to business relationships, but also helping to really fuel what we're passionate about. So, for example, if we have team members that are really passionate about foster care, or you have a patient that's struggling with breast cancer, or a family member that has some sort of cancer, as a team, get together, do a cancer walk, do some sort of community event where you can make sure that you're feeling that passion outside of the office, getting together as a team, doing team building, and also making those connections with the people in the community to potentially have them be patients. So, what I do know is that human behavior is interesting, as you probably all know as well. And when we are passionate of something, we're enthusiastic, that's contagious. So, as you're building your brand and having that brand out there of social media, of Instagram, SEO, that's amazing. However, our neighbors right in our complex, right here, our business to business neighbors, when was the last time we reached out to them? Who reaches out to them? When do we reach out to them? Do we have a strategic plan to connect with the patients, potential patients that are right next door to us? Now, I know most of you who live in Arizona, probably live in an HOA neighborhood like I do, where you come in, you open your garage door, you shut the garage door, and you don't really see a lot of your neighbors. Well, that can also happen in our work life as well. So we go into our office, we stay in there, and we don't really connect with the people around us. So my challenge to us, all of us, is to bring it back to basics. Get to be those community champions and really work to network with the people in your surrounding area. So, for example, if you're in a commercial office space, what are you doing to connect with the Pilates group down the street or the lunch area that you see? Do you bring them business cards? Do you have any kind of documented system where you say, okay, once a month I'm going to go visit this apartment complex right here? If you don't, let's talk. We will help you with that and give you suggestions and really get a plan together for you. Now, one thing I like to start by saying is that there's some people who are just automatically outgoing and extrovert. And I may or may not know a few of those people in my life. I may or may not be one of those people. And so for us who talk to others and it just comes a little more natural, that's a pretty easy ask. Some of our introvert friends are like, I don't want to do that. So, what I want to let you all know is that we're all marketing people, right? We are hygienists, we're assistants, we are dentists, treatment coordinators, front office coordinators, practice managers, office managers, whatever role that you have. Part of that is to market the practice and help grow. Now, one thing I want to have you consider is if you work in a dental office and it's a general dental office, would you refer your friends and family there? And if you would, and that's amen, hallelujah, let's refer our friends and family. Are we taking business cards with us? Even the introverts, when you go get your hair cut, do you give out a business card and say, hey, do you need a dentist? And it's really a conversational thing. If we want to grow and we love where we work, let's promote it in those small spaces. If you have children and you're at a soccer game, have business cards with you. So those are the ones that just organically come about. Now, if we're in the office and we're trying to say, okay, yes, we're going to commit to getting to know the community more. What are those areas that we want to focus on? So look within a mile of where you are and say, okay, what's around me that I really want to focus with? What do I connect with? So what is that common ground? Is there a church that you go to? Is there a school that your kids go to? Is there a Target right nearby? So first of all, find that common ground. Where do you already shop? Where do you already go? Who do you already connect with? I'm in a area where we have a nails and spa place, so I go get my pedicures there, and I meet them and I talk to them, and every 6 weeks or so they're seeing my face. And yes, I have gotten them some of them as patients. We let them know what we can offer them. And we also share business with them. We want to promote their business as well. So with the nails and spa place, I take their cards and I give them to my patients, and they've gotten patients from us. So we've gotten referrals that way. I will say the one thing that surprised me the other day was we did get a person who found us on Chat GPT. So whatever someone's searching for, when they plug it in Chat GPT, I want a 5-star office in Mesa, whatever the criteria is, we want your office to pop up. What are you putting out there? So all of the community things that you start doing, document it. Say, okay, we're going to have that community champion. We're going to do one large event a year, whatever that is. Maybe it's like I said, a breast cancer walk. It's a Toys for Tots. Maybe it's a blood donation. You have a donation of blood out in the parking lot and invite your neighborhood businesses and apartment complexes. Send a newsletter out. Maybe it's connecting with a golf course. Maybe you're a golfer, or you have a lot of patients that are golfers and you connect with them. So using our patient base to network and knowing those patients that come in who are already outgoing, connect with them and say, hey, we're accepting new patients. Do you have any way that we could come in to do a conversation with, maybe it's a 55 and older community and you want to talk to them about implants? What can we do? And strategically put that on your calendar and say, okay, this month we're going to do this month we're going to do that, and really plan it out and define what that looks like for you. Who's going to be involved in that. Maybe it's a farmer's market. Maybe you're a foodie and you love farmers markets. You say, hey, we're going to try for 3 months. We're going to go and see what we develop. So not only are you developing relationships with the people that are coming, you're developing relationships with the other vendors. So that's the other thing. If you can find the ones that are more inexpensive, go for that. It can be super budget friendly. You can go out, just walk around, put things, give a little toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, do welcome kits for the neighborhoods that people are coming into, maybe a new apartment complex. Then you also want to determine, okay, who do we already know in the practice? What insurance do they have? And how can I market to maybe someone who has a really great well, I don't know if there's any great Delta plans out there, maybe a few, any great insurance reimbursement. So what is that and who has that insurance? And try to dig a little deeper and make those connections to maybe it's a Marriott down the street, maybe it's a police officer, police station. So how do we make connections with patients we already have? How do we make connections with the businesses nearby? And how do we strategically do that so it stays consistent? Because what I do know is that when we put something into place, if we don't follow through with it, it works for a little while, but when we're not consistent with it, it really does not come to fruition like it could. So when we plan out for a year and we say, okay, January, February, March, April, May, all the way to December, we have a plan, we're more likely to get it done when it's documented. We already know where we're going, we know who's doing it. And then if we need to adjust as we go along, great. So what are some challenges that you guys have with that? Again, maybe it's we live in Arizona, it's 120 degrees and it's hot. So what times are we going to do that? When can we do that? The other thing that we do too is we have a little pop-up where when it is cooler, the sushi place right next door, when they have lunch, we just set up a little shop outside. We have toothbrushes, floss, we have someone who goes out for an hour or two, talks to them. So you can have those out of the box things where it's spur of the moment. However, when you have it strategically planned out, it really does help to know what your budget's going to be. So we've planned it out. We say, okay, there's no surprises. Then when you have those community events, then you do the hashtags, then you do the social media posts to enhance what your brand is and who you are and what you believe in. So it's not only about teeth, it's about who we are as a dental office and what we can bring to our community. So when you're in an area, building those relationships with the community helps to build your brand. It also helps to have better dental health because who is the person that manages this? How do we implement this? So we can help with that. Give us a call, visit our website. Each week we're going to go through this different practice fuel, and I hope that you learn something week by week, little nugget to take away. And this should not feel overwhelming. This should be something that is in addition to what you're doing, but not something that is going to take a lot of time and energy. Once we get that plan, you set it up, you go through the flow, and it works really, really well. You'll find that like you start tomorrow, a year from now, you're going to look back and say, wow, how are all these people, where did we get all these people? So when you do that, you want to track those referrals in your software because we want to say, we were at this event, we want to track them so that we can go back and see, did our efforts pay off? What was our return on investment? And when you're getting business cards or flyers, it's not a huge investment to go out and take the time to make those connections. However, you don't see usually the fruits of the labor right away. It's an overtime relationship building that earns you some respect in the community and also referrals from others. Facebook pages is another one too, where when you go on Nextdoor or you go on Facebook groups in your community, just the other day, someone was asking for a dentist, and I had 3 of our patients that posted about our office, and they said, oh, they give you stress balls, they give you chapstick, they're very gentle and all that. And so I thanked them. I went on and I said, thank you for referring us. And when you're out in the community, you never know the ripple effect. And so building those relationships and then having those patients talk about us, even when we don't know they're talking about us, hopefully in a positive way, right? Yes, we want to have integrity. We want to do the best that we can, and we can help you build out that plan. Visit our website, www.championdentist.com. Reach out to us, comment below. We will send you a link so that you can give us a call. We'd love to set up that insight and strategy call with you, and we will be back next week with some more fun information. I hope you guys all have a great lunch, and we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.